Okay, so we have started our boat projects and there's a lot of projects to do. We weren't sure where to start, what to do first. Some of you guys come up with some great suggestions in the comments of our last video of what you think we should do first. But while we agree with some of them, you know, what the priorities are, we have to think about what we can do, what we need other people to do, what the weather's going to be like, depending on what project we're doing, and kind of arrange it so what is top priority, but we won't be able to do it. We have to skip on to the next thing that we possibly can do and so on. So the way we kind of prioritized it was that imagine the boat is going to launch in the next couple of days and we have one wish to fix anything or sort anything out on the boat. What would it be? That priority would be the engine, because if we launch, yes, it's a sailboat, but we need a functioning engine to get us in and out of harbours and so on, navigate around certain places. So that would be priority number one. So can we do that? No, we can't. We're relying on an electrician to come and sort the electrics out, which is happening in the next couple of days, all being well. So yes, that is priority, but we can't do anything about it. We're at the mercy of someone else. So we've sidelined that project. What would our next project be if that was fixed and we were launching in a couple of days and we were granted one wish to fix the next thing? What would it be? That would probably be just getting the keel bolts looked at and making sure they're okay, and if they're not, having them replaced. Can we do that? Well, maybe. We probably could, but we'd rather have a professional do it. It might take us a lot longer than what, you know, a professional coming along, checking it and saying yes, they're okay, or no, they're not okay, let's replace this. I'd rather a professional did that and we have someone come to look at it, but it'll not be until probably December. So we've a bit of time yet before that happens. So that would probably be priority number two. So we'll set that aside because we can't do anything about it. Number three, well, that would probably be having the seacocks replaced, all the seacocks. Can we do that? Yes, we can. So what we're going to do is start taking a bit of the anti-foul off the hull, especially around the areas where the through hulls are, the skin fittings. And over the next few days to a week, we'll start removing the seacocks, and then we can get some of the composite ones ordered up. So that's probably priority number three, and we'll make a start on that. And then four, probably the standing rigging. Can we do that? Well, we probably can do that. You know, it'll take a bit of time and we'll need some help. I don't want to remove the mast, and we might be able to take it, because it's a keel step mast, we might be able to take one shroud at a time down and replace it. So I think we'll be able to do it ourselves. The thing is, that's going to come down to budget and whether we can afford to do it right now. So we've put that on the sideline as well as a priority that, you know, we can do, but we can't do right now. The next one then would probably come down to getting the old Teak up, getting the deck sealed. Can we do that? Yeah, we can. So there's two projects we can do that are relatively high up the priority list. The skin fittings and ball valves being replaced with the True Design composite ones and the Teak deck. So that's where we're at now. So we'll get stuck into those parts of the project, and then we'll rely on these other guys come and do the two other main priority projects. Yeah, I mean, things will change. We'll have to be a bit fluid with these things. Things will change, lists will grow, priorities will change, and we'll just have to roll with it. So the main thing is, you know, it's early October, the weather's windy, but it's staying dry at the minute, so we can get stuck into these things, and we can make a start on the projects. That's the main thing, is getting started, because the longer we leave it and the more we'll mess about and think about things, then, you know, time presses on. The next thing, it's March or April and we haven't half the things done, and it just delays us getting launched. I feel like I'm waffling on, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say is there's projects there. We're going to make a start and we'll just see how it goes. We'll do our best to get things done for early next year, and then we can launch with very little left to do. But anyway, I waffle on and let's get started with the projects. Very strong northerlies today. And we're going to just maybe make a start. It's actually warm despite the wind. We're going to make a start on lifting some of the teak deck. But first, just want to get the anchor out of the road and reduce the weight at the front of the boat here. So at some point that will obviously give us an opportunity to measure out the length of the anchor chain and check the condition of the anchor chain, but as for now we're just going to lift this all out. We've reached the bitter end. Get to the chopper. Good work. Yeah. And good thinking. So as you can probably hear, it's very windy outside. The intention was to use the anchor locker lid as a test piece to remove the teak and fill the holes just to see what we were up against. But Kelly had the smarter idea of why get almost blown off the deck in strong winds when we can just take the anchor lid off, bring it down into the saloon and do the work there. So great thinking by Kelly. And yeah, we're going to take all the screws out now and see how big a job it is, or how easy a job it is, how hard a job it is of removing this teak and getting these holes filled. Here we go. Last one.
Ta-da!
Well done.
3 million more to go.
That's the result of what felt like an eternity. Taking all these screws out. Wonder Girl. Mark.
How many done?
Only another small bit to do.
40 odd square foot.
Plus the deck. we got some new multi-tool bits and a pry bar, and we used the money that some of you have kindly donated through our coffee and PayPal, so we really appreciate it. It's little things like that that kind of make a difference to us, and yeah, we really appreciate it. These are going to come into good use with this job. Yeah, it's probably better doing that outside. So this is what we got done yesterday. As you can see, it's not very much, but it took quite a while getting the hatch off, bringing it down, getting the screws out, and then making a bit of a start. Probably took a couple of hours. And if we hadn't run out of time, I suppose we could have stayed a bit longer, but I felt like we didn't have the right tools. So thanks to those who donated on our coffee and PayPal, we've treated ourselves to some chisels, so we're going to give those a go, and hopefully they make easier work of it all. Okay, this is turning into a bit of a ball ache. I'm wondering, will the multi-tool do a better job? So I'm going to lift this test piece down below the boat, drop the extension, and we'll set up the multi-tool and try that, see if it makes it any easier. So this is the result of about 4 hours work. It looks absolutely hideous. That was back-breaking, monotonous, just so difficult to kind of get it all lifted, and I don't know whether it comes down to the fact that the teak had been worn so thin that it was just so brittle then when you were pulling it off, it was just coming off in tiny pieces, or whether whatever was bonded, used to bond the teak to the locker lid, was just indestructible. But I think we've got the bulk of it off. A few other bits of teak still stuck to it there, but we'll scrape it off, and then I'll take to it with a sander, level it out, repair these patches where we've taken the gel coat off the glass, and then fix it all up. So this is going to be a good test piece for us, because I'm going to try and do some of the gel coat repairs that I talked about wanting to do on the transom. I'm going to practice on this. So I think that's all we're going to get off with the hammer and chisel and the multi-tool. So just going to give the sander a go, see if it takes off the residue from the adhesive. So that's it for today. and that's pretty much it. All sanded, all the teak and adhesive removed, just a few wee bits still remaining, but I'll clean them off with a finer sander. I've been using an 80 grit to kind of level that out, but you can see the extent of the damage to the gel coat with trying to lift the parts of teak. So it's gonna mean a lot of fairing compound and sanding to make it fair. Once that's done, we can put on the kiwi grit. There's a few bits of damage just along the edges here, and that's what I'm going to practice applying the gel coat to, because kiwi grip obviously will not be on these side bits, just on this surface here. But still have to fill all these holes, many holes, but we'll do that and then that'll be that wee bit done. Alright, so we have got the Sandblaster attachment to fit onto the pressure washer, a few bags of fine kiln dried sand. We're going to give it a go and see what kind of result we get from wet blasting the hull. I'm going to just do a few areas around the through hulls, because we'll be taking them out anyway, so it's just to kind of see what kind of result we get. So this is the normal power washing lance, and this is the sandblasting attachment that goes onto it. And then as you'll see, there's a hose goes from here into the bag of sand, and this obviously connects up to the power washer. And then that's the tube. Okay, that's our setup. Ready to go. And here's hoping for a good result. Got my respirator and safety glasses ready. That's it. So this has basically been the water from the power washer has taken this off, rather than the sand from the sandblasting attachment, because it clogged up, and you can see we've hardly used any sand at all. I just think that the anti-foul has been sitting that thick that it just came away in big chunks with the water. Let's see if you can there, just how thick the anti-foul is on. It's coming off very easily, which I'm glad, but I think it would come off a lot easier and a lot quicker if the sand blasting attachment was working. I've another one in there as a spare, so I can swap it over and see if we can get it working properly. I don't know why it's not lifting the sand or what's going on, but yeah, we seem to be making progress at least. So there we have it. This part was pretty much done just by water from the pressure washer without the sand, and this bit was done with the pressure washer and sandblasting attachment actually working, and this was a lot quicker, and you can see just this has got it a lot smoother than that side. There's still residue of old anti-foul and primer on there by the looks of it. Down to the gel coat here, it has taken a chunk out of the gel coat there, as you can see, in a couple of spots, but they'll be easy to fare. Sand in my face, I've sand in my hair, sand in most places. So what the issue I think was the bucket with the sand was too low, and the suction from the pressure washer going through wasn't enough to lift the sand. So when I set the bucket of sand up onto the wheelie bin lid there, it was a lot higher. It seemed to flow really well. The sand was flying out, and the anti-foul was coming off really quickly. So I'm impressed with that. We've spent, so in total we used 2 bags of 25 kilos of sand. Each bag was £5, 10p or something like that. So not bad for £10.20, but my friend Robbie has rang somewhere local which is £3 odds a bag. So we're going to go tomorrow and pick up 10 bags, and I think 10 bags should be enough to at least get all of this side finished and maybe a bit of the other side. That's what I'm hoping, and if it does, then that's great. We'll see how it goes. Well, that's it for this episode, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, or leave us a comment down below and let us know what you thought. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's completely free. And just want to say a massive thank you to those people who made donations to our Ko-fi and PayPal account. We really appreciate it so much. Thank you. That's it for now. We'll see you soon.